Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Muriel, this is As Told by Muriel, and today I am doing a video from my car. I'm at the vet. I brought Lady to the vet because she has a hematoma to her right ear. I think Duchess bit her ear the other day. We left them home alone while we went to a Labor Day cookout for a couple hours, and we came back. She had some bleeding to her ear, so I'm in the vet parking lot, and I said, let me go ahead and make this video while it's on my mind. So I was watching the video the other day, and it was on a YouTube video, and there was a nurse who decided to go to school for her LPN instead of her RN. I think she's going back for her RN. I'm not sure, but she was giving reasons why she went for her LPN instead. Actually, I don't think she said she was going back for her RN. I think she said she was going for health administration. She was going to get a bachelor's or a master's in health administration. And I notice on a lot of videos, I don't know if it's because people are just entering nursing and maybe they don't know. No one's going to know everything. I don't know everything. I just know what I do know. And I try to bring you guys what I do know. But she made the statement, I think it had to do something with finances. And I was thinking about what she was saying. And, you guys know I was LPN for 18 years. And in those 18 years I was LPN, I made some real good money, like real good money. And there were periods where I didn't make that much money because honestly, I was the type, I became a nurse at a young age. I became a nurse at the age of 21 or 22. And I was still, about out there in the streets or whatever. Even though I had children, I still wanted my time to go out and party. So I wasn't really on the money train like other nurses were at that time. I was on I'm going to work just enough to pay the bills. And so I never really had, excess of money, but I had just enough to get by. And I had that train of thought for a long time. Like I said, I became a nurse at 22, even though I had children. And another thing is I like to be home with my kids. And, I would go, hang out every now and then too. But excuse me, I was that mother who wanted to be there to take my kids and do things and go places. And, I was that mother that took my kids. Like if there was a little concert going on at the school or anything, I would be the one to drop them off. I would be the one to pick them up. If there was something going on, we lived in a town called Walterboro. It was in between Beaufort, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. So if there was something going on, like the Christmas lights show, I would take them to that. Like I was that mother that wanted to be able to take her kids here, take her kids there. And so if work interfere with that, I'm not going to work. And so I never would work. Like I was never that nurse that was going to do 40 hours a week. I was never that nurse that was going to be a full 36, not often. Like I did when I first graduated. I started working in a hospital, working night shift, and 3 days a night shift really feels like 5 days a night shifts when you count your sleep factor. But anywho, all that to say, I was never that nurse that was trying to get to the bag until recently. Like in the last 5 years is when I'd say the last 7 years is when I became that type of nurse. But my kids were a little older by that time. And I could be away from home a little more because my older kids had gotten old enough to take care, to look after the younger ones. And so I would work then 4 days a week, 5 days a week. And then I would have my spells for like a month where I only want to work 2 days a week. And so that's what I did. So I always found a job where that would allow me to be that flexible with my schedule so I can do things with my kids and have my life, So she was talking and she was saying about, how she makes good money as an LPN. She don't, see the need to be an RN. And I understand completely. Some of you may know, I think I talked about it in one of my videos. When I became an LPN, at the age of 22. And my goal was to go back for my RN. No, I became age of 22. Yeah, and my goal was to go back for my RN before I turned 30. Well, I did re-enter school for my RN before I turned 30. But me being young and just want to do what I want to do, I got all the way to the transition program, which was transitioning from an LPN to an RN. And then I dropped out because I decided I wanted to up and move from where I was. And the school I was attending was 3 hours away now instead of an hour away. So I stopped going, and it took another full 6 years before I would re-enter again. And so, and when I was going back for my RN at that time, it wasn't even the money aspect. It was just because I made that promise to myself that I would do it. And it was more for like the prestige, just to say I was an RN. I wasn't even thinking about the money aspect at that time. Because like I said, when I was younger, even though I was 28 or 29, I think at that time, I wasn't thinking about the money because I wasn't about to work hard. I wasn't about to work often anyway. You know, I had to have my life. I had to have my time with my kids and my time for my own self. And so once I stopped going at that point, it took another 6 years, but in those 6 years, that's when I started thinking about the money aspect. And, you know, people weren't really discussing their salaries then, saying how much they was making. But I did happen to run across one RN who was in long-term care, who was willing to discuss her money. Now, I would never ask anybody, but other people would ask, you know, how much is an RN make? So we were in a discussion one night, and I think at that time I was making $19 an hour as an LPN. This was just 7, 8, 9 years ago. I was making $19 as an LPN, and at that time I had already been an LPN for 12 years at that time, and I was making $19 an hour, which she was an RN. She had only been an RN for maybe 5 years, and we were both working long-term care. And while I was making $19 with 11 years of LPN experience, she had 5 years of RN experience, and she was already making 25 doing the same work I was doing in long-term care. Now, mind you, this was back in 2013. So she was in long-term care as an RN, and she was making $25 an hour already, while I was making $19. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot. That's $6 an hour difference. But when you think about the hours you're putting in, if you're working 36 hours a week, extra $6 an hour, that's what? 6 times 3 is 180. Plus the 6 times 6 is 36. So she was averaging $200 and something more a week than I was, which equates to $800 more a month. And we were doing the same work. I had more years of experience, but just the fact that she had her RN, she was making more money than me. So that's when I decided, hey, let me just go ahead back to school. Because like I said, by this time I had started to get more aware of the money aspect of it. And so I re-entered school, and I did something dumb then, and I'm going to discuss that in another video. When I re-entered school, with the thought process of, I'm going to get my bachelor's degree, but let me go ahead and take the prerequisites for my bachelor's degree now at this technical school, so I won't have to take it once I finish with my AD and I'll have all my prerequisites out the way. Bad idea. I will tell you guys why in another video, but bad idea. Don't do what I did. So anyway, it took me a long time because I was getting all those prereqs out the way. I was doing all the chemistry. I was doing all the 200 level Englishes. I was, doing all these courses. And then when I got into the transition program, I had to do just 2 semesters. At my school, it was just 2 semesters to become an RN, but it took me years of going through all those prereqs, about 2 years of going through those prereqs before I got to the transition program, only because for one, I had to repeat my sciences because my sciences were over 5 years old. But not only did I repeat those sciences, I took additional sciences thinking I needed those for my BS. And I took all kind of additional classes, like I said. So once I finally got into the program, the transition program, it was only 2 semesters and I graduated. So let me tell you why I agree and I kind of don't agree with her. As an LPN, if you're going to be working in long-term, as an LPN in acute care, is by far, the pay difference. There's a pay difference between being an RN and being an LPN in acute care. That everyone knows that. It goes without saying. RNs are going to make more money. RNs are doing a little bit more work though, as far as what they can do in acute care. So there is a little difference in the work, and RNs are doing You know, they're running charge. Some of them are being charge nurses. They have to do duties. Some of them have to carry out duties for the patients that LPNs have, because LPNs can't, there's some duties LPNs can't do, which is, I worked in acute care as an LPN, and I know how it is when you have, they assign you a patient with IV push drugs, or you have to, a patient getting a blood transfusion, and you have to find an RN to do this for you. And I know, you know, that's how I can say that there are some duties, and then it's the law. There are duties that LPNs can't do, that ours can't do. So there is a pay difference there. However, in long-term care, we are doing the same thing. The RN is doing the same thing as the LPN. If you're a floor nurse RN, if you're a unit manager RN, you're doing the same thing, because LPNs can be unit managers as well. There are places where the LPNs, like the assisted living I go to, there is an LPN who is the director of wellness there. Like, she is the DON of the facility. So there are, in that capacity, LPNs and RNs basically do the same thing. However, the RN is always going to get paid more. Even if you're a brand new LPN, you're coming out of school now, you're getting offers for anywhere from $25 to $28, $30 to, as a brand new LPN, that RN is getting an offer from anywhere from $30 to $37. So there is a difference in the pay. And the thing is, there's a difference in the pay, but you're doing the same job. Well, like me, I'm an RN, but I actually prefer long-term care, but the options for me as an RN are vast. Like, there are a lot of options. Like, the world, when I got my RN, the world became my oyster as far as employment. Now, same for LPNs. There are plenty of jobs out there for LPNs. Plenty of jobs out there for LPNs. There are different fields you can go in. Home health, insurance. There are different fields for LPNs as well. But the opportunities for RNs out there, and I was an RN. I am an RN with my associate's degree. There are endless opportunities out there for RNs. And when you walk through the door, you're going to walk through the door brand new. If you take a brand new LPN and a brand new RN, and they both get care, and like I say, both get hired in long-term care facility, the RN is going to make on an average of $5 to sometimes $10 more than you. Even working in agency, me as an RN, I go to facilities as an agency RN, working the floor. I'm going to get paid $9 to $10 more an hour. Yeah, like $9 to $10 more an hour than the LPN who works as an agency, and we're doing the same thing. So say I'm doing an 8-hour shift, and the LPN comes and they're making $30 an hour to do that shift, or they get an incentive and they're making $40 an hour to do that shift. Me as the RN, if I walk through the door, if the LPN is getting 30, I'm getting like 40, anywhere from 45 to 50. If the LPN's getting 40, I'm getting anywhere from 50 to 60. So it's a difference. There is a difference. I don't want, as far as money, there is a difference. And as an LPN who did long-term care for so long, who didn't think about the money, you know, when I wasn't thinking about the money, it was one thing. But when you think about the money, like, there are a lot of LPNs who are going to school who LPN is just going to be their supplementary income. Nursing is going to be their supplementary income, because you have entrepreneurial goals. So if that's your goal, then yeah, get the LPN, because you know that's money. It's good money. I'm not going to lie to you. It's good money. There's all kind of incentives and everything out there. But if you're going to make this your career, why not? I'm an advocate for getting your LPN before getting your RN. If you're a woman like me, a woman who has kids, a woman who has bills, and you need to hurry up, you can get in the field and you can start making some money, because then you could go down and just working on the weekends with your LPN, and it can finance your whole, you know, can take care of your bills and everything while you achieve your RN. So I am an advocate for going back to school to get your RN. If you know staying in healthcare is what you want to do permanently, I'm an advocate for going back for your RN, only because it will enhance your life. You can work 3 days and make $2,100. The LPN works those same 3 days at the same facility doing the same work, and they will probably make $1,500. You get what I'm saying? So that's like $600 difference, and we're doing the same work. And I know cost may be a factor, but your RN basically pays for itself. Especially these days and times. So yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say in this video. If you have any comments down below, and don't think I'm saying anything negative about becoming an LPN, because y'all know I was an LPN for, I say forever, but the years flew by so fast. But I was an LPN for 18 years. I would never say anything bad about becoming an LPN, but you will see the difference in opportunities. You definitely will see the difference financial. You will see the difference when you get your RN degree. So yeah, I am Muriel. This is As Told by Muriel. And hey y'all, to all my new subscribers, thank you for viewing my channel and deciding to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to build up my viewers. I'm trying to build up my channel, not for the money, because I'm already out here getting money. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm already out here getting money. But I really want this information to get out there to other people. Like, really wanted to get out there to single mothers, women of my age. Just really wanted to get out there, because y'all, this career can change your life. When y'all see people on YouTube, TikTok, and all that stuff doing this, buying these bags and all this with their nursing money, it's real, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it's real. It's real. I don't like to make it about the money, y'all, but it is what it is. You can sit here and try to sugarcoat it or whatever, but nurses are making money right now. And they've been making money, but they really making some money now. So yeah, I am Muriel. This is As Told by Muriel, and I will get to you guys later. Bye.